ranges in Excel. So we want to look at cells, ranges, and arrays, and then how to manage them to take care of them. Okay, so if you open any Excel sheet, like I've opened, yeah. So what we are going to see is we have column here, like where I have this like this. These are columns that I have. If I also come here, these are rows. That's the whole row that I have. Now, there are instances, if I click on just one like this, I have simply selected a cell. Okay. And so I can do whatever that I want to do. But when I select a cell like this, if you check at the corner here, you can see the name of the cell. It is B3. B because the column name is B, and then the row is 3. So in naming cells, we have B and then 3. Now that's for cells. And this way we didn't it fit. And so what we can do here is to, let's say, if I select a cell, I can, let's say, a value. Okay, I was typing at a different place. Yeah, if I select a cell, I can enter a value. If I select a cell, I can actually change the background or the shade, and so I can simply shade it with this. And then if I select it, I can also enter, let's say, a function or a formula. It's a formula 5 plus 6. That's a formula. Function, I will simply say equal to, maybe I will say sum. Like, and then I will say 5, 6. Then I'll close it and then return. Same thing. Now, apart from the cells, and then managing cells, we can actually also select a whole range. We can select an array. So to select a range or an array, actually, let me remove the highlight here. From here all the way up to this point, a range. And so this is much of like a longitudinal range or a column. Or yeah, so I have selected from one point to the other. And now when you select a range, check from the beginning up to the end, Excel only recognizes the first place where you started, doing the selection. So you see that when you go to the address bar, you will see something like A2, telling you that you started this particular range from A2, and that's what Excel would. Now, you can also select across like this, and that's also a range. Again, Excel will recognize the first place where you started the selection, and then where you have dragged it to. Now, in selecting range, you can either bring your cursor and it will change to a big plus sign. Then you either select this way. You can also use what we call the range function. To select the range function, I can come to any cell at all. And then because we are going to use a function much more like an algorithm, we have to start with an equal sign. So the equal sign here cannot allow us to be able to select which range we want. So if we want to select this particular range, I can click from this cell, then you put column. Column simply means from this point to wherever you're doing. At this point, because we put equal sign, Excel knows that we are talking about one single cell. Excel will say A2 is to A2, and that's a single cell that we have selected. What about you all the way to, let's say, A16 or A14? So you see that automatically Excel will arrange that particular, will select that particular range for us. That's how we select a range from anywhere. Then we can also select, let's say, the same A2 all the way to And you see that it's going to select the whole of the row. Now, one thing you should pay attention is that if you are selecting and then the alphabet is the same, it means you are selecting a column. If the number is selecting a so in selecting a row, the alphabet or the latest change, the number in selecting a column, the letter remain the same, the number is change. And that's just basically how we'll be able to do it. Apart from selecting cells and then ranges, we can also select an array. Even though when you select something like this, or when you select something here like this, it's also an array, but it's much more of like a single array. What about if you want to select something like this? You see, so maybe from D2 all the way to H13. I'm going to select it. And now D2, how am I look at the top? When you find any alphabet, you will find D. Look at the find that correspond to become D2. So I come here is H on top, and then 13 on the left hand side becomes H13. So we are selecting from D2, D2 to H13. That's another way of. So how do we select this particular region, D2 to H13? Again, come to any open place, put equal sign there, and say you are looking for D2 automatically. Excel will identify where D2 is. And put is2. The is2, the column means is2, that's the range, or that's the array that we are going to select. So to H13. So I will say H13. And it automatically, Excel will identify the region within which you are selecting. And this becomes an array. So when you select it this way, it gives you the opportunity to be able to put whatever that you want to put over there, and then that is fine. So that's basically what I know about cells, ranges, and arrays. But that's not all. Why do we have to do this? And why do we have to know how to select ranges and then arrays and whatsoever? It is because imagine that you are working with, let's say, 500 rows, and then and the 500 rows are made of different categories of things. How are you going to handle it? Sometimes when you select ranges, it helps you, or when you keep ranges, it helps you to manage a large data set. Now, let's come and look at one example. Let's say we have on top here, let's say we have different. So I will say HR, then have, let's say operations. Then let's say we have technical unit, say we have administration, then that order. Now imagine that I want to the HR, let's say there are some salaries that we want. So and the salaries, the staff there are more than like 500. Right? Operations the same, technical the same, administration the same. I can actually select them as ranges and keep them for any day use. Let's assume there is some salaries over there. So I am going to say, I'm going to run between, or I'm going to run array, and then the salary scale is around 1,000 Ghana cedis to 10,000. And then I'm just going to close it. Okay, but because I'm using run array, I need to select the number of rows. So let's just put it at 10 rows. And the number of columns, I think there are 4. The minimum is 1,000 and the maximum is 10,000. And then we are saying that we don't, okay, if we want decimals, let's put false so that we are dealing with figures. Be properly spelled. It's supposed to be, yeah. So we do that, and let's see. I don't know why this place again. So 10, 4,000, 10,000. I don't know why this place it's not the currency. I mean, make it general. So, so we are good to go. Now, if I have the whole of this, I'm going to copy it and then paste it again as values. So now they are now values. Reduce the decimals into, okay, let me give it at one decimal places. So now let's leave it this way. These are now salaries. And imagine this is just about 10 staff. But if the staff are many, so we can actually select the whole of this as a range and give it its name, then it will be there. So each time we want to print the salaries of HR, or we want to look at the salaries of HR, I will simply can just go there and then print it. If we want to update it, we can update it. And so I've selected the salary of HR members. So you go to formulas, then come to names managers, and I think not name manager, define names, and then you see that Excel has already identified as HR. So I'm going to say HR underscore, okay, HR underscore salaries. And then because the range has already been selected, I don't need to select the range here again. So I'll simply put my comment section, say these are salaries of HR staff. And then I'll just click OK, and then that is it. So the next time I'm looking for this particular range, imagine I needed to select all the way to 500. That's a whole lot of things that it will be difficult for me, and it's going to delay my whole process of selecting. Even though there are ways that we can select that at random, but I just think that it's better that when you create ranges name and give them name, it's always better. So let's say the next time I want to print HR salary workers, I can simply just come here and say equal sign. Then I will now request for the name towards HR. So you can see it appears over there, and I'll just use my tab key, then tap on your return, and you see that it will print exactly the salaries that are here. If I don't want it that way, let's say that HR salary, we are going to upgrade everybody's salary by 100 Ghana cedis. So I'll simply say equal to, uh, I'll say HR. So I'll look for, it's not like a variable sitting down, and I'll say plus 100 Ghana cedis. It means we are adding 100 Ghana cedis to every single person over there. So we do that. And you see that all this was the old salary, 818287. See that the 100 Ghana cedis has been added across. That's how it is. The same way we can also pay for mathematical operation using that variable alone. We can add, we can subtract, we can find the average. For instance, if I want the average salary of HR staff, I'll simply say the average. Then I would put the variable that I created that is holding the range of those values, which is I will simply say HR. When you start typing the HR, because it's a variable created, it will be there. Then I'm just going to close it, and then it will tell me that the average salary of HR staff is like that. What about if I want the total salary? So I'll simply say sum, and then when I'm using the sum function, I'll say HR salaries. You see that it's going to appear over there. Then you simply just close that up and then return. So this is the total salary for HR. So you can do that for the range. You can also create another range for operations, create another range. So each time you want to work with each of the variables, you can simply go there. And this is the reason why if you have ranges, if you know how to manage ranges, it's all that. And you can also remove the ranges anytime at all that you feel like doing. You could have also just, highlight everything and then give it a name. You come and say you want to define it, and then you say maybe all uh, salary salary, and then and so we can say these are these are salaries of all staff, all staff. We come and click Okay. So now every single, so if in a case we are dealing with every single staff, for instance, I can come to this point and say all this staff on salaries again. So let me remove this section and then bring it here. We are going to print the staff salaries again. You should get all staff salaries. See, the variable will simply appear. Use tab key to complete it and then tap your return key. It will print the salaries of all staff for you. If you don't want it that way, we can simply like the same summation that I'm talking about. In the total salary, which one is the maximum? The maximum, which of the maximum salary among all the staff is how much? So we are going to say maximum, and then we simply just say all, and then that should simply appear in the intelligence. Close your bracket and return. So the highest salary is 9,600. And what about the smallest salary? So you say equal to, then you have your minimum, use the minimum, and then come and say, put the variable over there, and then you simply return. And so you are able to put ranges, and then it makes it easy. Apply all kinds of mathematical operation on the variable that is holding the values, and then you are good to go. Uh, uh, if at a point you want to add other what is it, text on it, I haven't tried this before, but let's see that we want to find out whether any of the any of the values within this particular range is text. All right. So say is text, is it a text? Then I simply put all stuff, or okay, let me use the HR like this. Booleans, false are not. So you simply have, it makes your work really, really easy. Now apply all kinds of functions, like I said. So ladies and gentlemen, this is how we handle ranges, cells, and then how to be able to and how to be able to work them. You can create them, give it a name somewhere, and continue to work with it anytime you want. You can call the figure, you can add, you can subtract, you can apply functions, different financial functions to it. For instance, if you come to this particular place, you can actually apply any of these financial functions that you want. If you want a discount that you want to be added to any of them, then you can do that. For instance, you could calculate that maybe have some kind of discount for any of them, then it will simply work. But that's about it. This is how we work with ranges, and then I think this is just fine. Okay, see you.